You think we're gonna beat all these games?
Nope.
Backlog boys.
No, probably not.
We're back again. Backlog boys.
We're talking about George
Thorogood.
George Thorogood.
The most decent, average musician I've ever listened.
There's a few. Of
I've
those.
never met anyone who is a huge George Thorogood fan.
Yeah,
Just people who are aware
like
of him.
mildly appealed.
Yeah.
to him.
What am I doing right now? I am finishing this floor. I need to make room in my bag.
Yeah, we said we would.
It's been a whole day since we played, so
we forgot.
We forgot what we were doing. What can I get rid of?
What's that worm? Is that a fish
These are
bait?
all fish bait. We haven't fished with this or this.
Well, we have two
so
of
I don't
those.
want to. Yeah, but they're expensive.
Are they?
Yeah, they're like $400. We could just get rid of some soap.
Yeah.
We haven't seen goo in a while.
Yeah. And we could probably buy it in the area. We could possibly buy it in the
This
area.
ain't a smell-o-vision. We don't know if they're clean or not. We need what we need, and that's items. What did we even pick up just now anyway? It's probably
I don't know.
random nothing. Give me the well, too. There it is. It ain't no senior prank after all. Hey, I should tell my senior prank story. Because you didn't have one, right? You didn't really
Not that
do one?
I mean, I think, like... There was, like, this rock outside our school.
Holy
Fuck.
smokes. Oh, yeah, I had 35 health. I didn't even notice.
Well...
All right.
You
Oops.
sure you don't want to have Cookie finish him off?
I really want the abs. Okay, I'm going to try blocking.
See what that does. Gets a little shimmy when he blocks. It's fantastic.
Because he kind of sticks out there for a little while. There we go. 83. That ought to do him. I
Alright,
see.
what-
I knew he had the pointy chestnut.
But we had a rock.
But it wasn't a
outside our-
rock.
No, it was a gigantic rock.
It was a rock. Lobster! Okay, continue.
Okay, it was like a giant boulder
Can't resist.
outside our school, and like people would paint it, right? And so like, I think people
Is that like a thing?
Yeah, like so like, you know, I don't know.
The owl says, no.
The lacrosse team's like, oh, let's go paint the rock. About
paint the
lacrosse.
boulder red.
Let's talk. Yeah, color it this color, and we'll talk about lacrosse on the rock. And then we're
Like spray paint or?
like paint.
Oh, wow. So they actually put some effort into it.
Like it would be coated, it would stay.
The whole thing.
Yeah.
Wow.
The whole big old boulder.
The holder boulder.
Like, we're talking, the holder boulder is like this big.
Damn. It's a lot of
Like,
paint.
that tall. Yeah. So, I think they might have written a questionable message on the rock
Oh, nice.
for on a school day. Like,
Of course.
so they did it over the weekend, overnight, like going into Monday, and then like the principal's pulling into his school and he sees a delinquent word on his rock.
Next time I come in here, I'm cracking skulls.
And then I think somebody like parked in someone's parking space, and so they had to like park in the student parking lot, like 252 miles away.
252 miles.
Yeah, and they had to walk
Woo!
walk that distance that we all walked every day.
That's kind of funny.
Yeah. So, but I think there was actually some outrage about that. Like someone got real mad inside the school,
Oh.
like someone who worked at school.
So this was like somewhat of a senior prank
Yeah.
by this lacrosse team in question?
Well, no, I was just saying that was an example. It's like the lacrosse team wins a game, and they're like, "Oh, let's go paint the rock and put our record on
So
there."
this isn't a senior prank story
Well,
at
no,
all.
I think somebody like for our senior prank dedecided they would go paint the rock and put something bad on there,
Oh, so they put
like-
something inappropriate.
like "fuck you" or something. I don't know.
In a distant font.
Yeah, but yeah, that's like as much as I can remember.
Cool. Well, that was an entrancing tale,
Yeah.
brethren.
I'm glad you asked.
I will tell
My
my
heart started
senior
pounding when you asked. Like,
Yeah.
oh, I get to tell him.
prank.
Yes.
Our senior prank was probably different.
Which you were involved in.
Yes, I was involved in.
Okay.
The whole senior class was. It was like a thing. Our school was a very different school because we were a private school and we were super small. And like, for the most part, everybody liked everybody. There wasn't a lot of like bullying. You know, like teachers were really cool for the most part. You know, and like had good relationships with the kids in the classes, like all that kind of stuff. Mm-hmm. What? Oh, water.
Wowda.
Wowda. Should I use a big one? Nah. Might as well just use up all the small ones, right?
Yeah.
So the way our senior prank worked is like there was a day towards the end of the year that was called Senior Skip Day, where the seniors just didn't have to come to school and they got a random day off. I don't know why or who started that.
So it wasn't actually skipping?
No.
Okay.
It was like known. So yeah, it wasn't really actually skipping.
But you got a day off.
Like you could come to school if you wanted. You didn't have to not come to school.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I don't know how that came about, but it was kind of considered that you would do your prank the day before Senior Skip Day.
So you wouldn't have to deal with the
fallout
from it.
Yeah, that was I think that was kind of the impetus for the Senior Skip Day. It's like, hey, if you're gonna do your senior prank, do it the day before Senior Skip Day, and then you won't have to clean up your own prank.
Yeah.
Because that's what they told you. Like, if you come to school tomorrow, you're gonna have to clean up whatever you do.
Yeah.
And then get this, we had to get our senior prank approved with like the principal or like the headmaster or whatever we call them. So
Headmaster, that sounds
oh god,
private schooly.
yes, that's what he was. He was a headmaster.
Really? Cool.
Stop it. Living, that is. Stop living. We so what we devised. Everything kind of just fell to the valedictorian. Oh yes, finally, we can level it up. All right, upgrade. Yes, absorb all that stuff. Man, it takes so many abs. That's the drawback of these higher up swords. Yeah.
Super uber weapons.
Okay, so what did we need? I've completely forgotten.
Yeah.
We need Oh, we got enough mimic now. We just need stone. All we need is stone. That's exciting. Well, we don't have anything that increases stone, except maybe this. Nope.
No. But did that slingshot do it?
The slingshot did. It increases mimic and stone.
So we could do that.
So it's either that or we wait until we get a stone breaker, which we can't buy, so we'd have to just wait until we get it. We don't have anything here that has stone. Plus, we don't have any of it close to being built up. So what we could do is just switch her to this one.
Steve.
But we said we were going to do that off camera. It'd be really boring to just grind that out.
We can get it started now.
If we have to use her, we'll use Steve. How about that?
All right.
Back to the senior prank story. Everything kind of fell to our valedictorian because we're just like, you're super smart. You're cool. We'll just let you figure it out. And then we'll just do all the work. So that's what ended up happening. And her plan was that we do something. The way our school worked is every teacher had their own room, like
Yep.
And so, and no other teachers used those rooms.
Yep, that was how ours was too, pretty much.
I don't know if other schools do it like that.
Yeah, I think some do it differently.
Here's some heroin. So that guy did a lot of damage, did he not?
Well, you were RD low. You were at 30 something.
Okay, let's use up this bread. So we decided that we would do something specific to each teacher to their room.
Okay.
So like one teacher was our advisor, and we had to like spare her from the wrath.
Okay.
But she has a very deathly and irrational fear of balloons.
Okay. A phobia.
Yeah, globophobia it's called. Specifically of the balloons, like being like, you know how they like, if you like rub on a balloon, it makes that like that like poppy sound.
Yeah.
And then the balloon's actually popping. That's more specifically what she was afraid of. Not just like a balloon like sitting over there doing its own thing. Mm-hmm. But she didn't like being near them in the event that they might pop. Okay. So we just put one balloon in her room. But then like there was this one teacher who like really liked Dr. Pepper. So we put a bunch of empty Dr. Pepper cans like over his floor. And then there was the teacher who taught newspaper. She taught the newspaper class where we made the school newspaper and the yearbook. And so we put like a 1 foot deep layer of newspaper in her room. And then there was a teacher who had a lot of babies. So we bought a box of diapers and filled them with chocolate syrup so they looked poopy and hung them from her ceiling. And then there was a teacher who taught biology, so we put a piece of roadkill in his room. In a smell-proof, chemical-proof bag. Oh, we got the old guy, finally!
Roll.
And then the Spanish teacher...
Where you boat?
We put... we filled her room with toilet paper. Like, we toilet papered, like, hung from the ceiling tiles.
Yeah.
And it was so thick that you, like, couldn't breathe in there. So she had a class, like, first thing in the morning, and they had to take it all down before they could do anything. That was probably the best one. And then we kind of ran out of ideas after that. There was this one teacher who we thought was kind of crazy, so we lined the walls and floor with bubble wrap. And then there was an opening at the top of one of the walls of the room that you could actually get to, like, the insulation and stuff. And we put these alarms in there that would go off at these various times throughout the day, and, like, super glued the battery cover shut and everything, made it, like, impossible to, like, tamper with them.
Yeah.
And they just went off, like, every day at these 3 specific times until they like died.
All right.
And I think that was like a year after we left.
It's pretty funny.
My best memory of the senior prank, though, was one, there was all these things that we did that we didn't get approved, because we're just our whole high school class, or our whole senior class, is in the school in the middle of the night because they gave us the keys, you know, to do this prank.
Yeah.
And then, like, people would get excited in the spirit of things and, like, do something that wasn't approved, and then we would have to undo it. So there was lots of those things that were really funny. We, like, duct taped one of those giant pencils to the ceiling.
Yeah.
And then they were like, this isn't approved, we have to take it down. And it was like, this is really dumb, but fun. And then this one teacher had his bicycle in his room. And I just took his bicycle out of his room and I just rode it around in the school. And it just felt so powerful.
Yeah.
Like, I'm riding a bicycle inside of my school.
Yeah.
No one's telling me not to.
That's pretty cool.
It was pretty cool. It was just weird, like, being in the school in the middle of the night. Doing random stuff.
That sounds fun. Well, actually...
It was a good time.
Schools...
Oh, and the capper, to finish this episode in the story, we had one person in our grade whose dad owned, like, a party company. Mm-hmm. And so we got a bounce house, and the next day...
You inflated it in one of the rooms?
No, the next day we actually showed up to school on senior skip day and set up the bounce house and a barbecue grill in the parking lot.
That's fun.
And had, like, a party.
Yeah.
And like, half of the one side of the school's windows just looked out there. And so we were just distracting the other kids all day. While we were, like,
good.
Blasting music and stuff. It was pretty solid. For having to get it approved and, like, all that kind of lameness, like, it was solid. It was a good time.
Like, controlled...
Controlled chaos.
Yeah.
Tomorrow on The Boys, Vaughn's gonna tell me whatever he was trying to say when I cut him off.
What was I...
I don't know. You were about to start a story, and then I realized I hadn't finished mine yet, so... Tomorrow on The Boys, you can expect